somehow the universe has a way of throwing a little wrench into it.
Here, let me feed you. How if I feed you? Yeah.
No, not if you're gonna be obnoxious, boo. I don't think queens, or I don't think a woman who regards herself highly would want to share her husband.
You know, if you gave me what I needed, if you treated me, if you gave me attention, and really it comes down.
Hey you guys, happy Friday. I don't know if I'll put this up on Friday like I'm intending, but this is on the fly. We were supposed to do a live video, but we're having a little bit of a storm, so our internet went out. So yeah, I don't know, can you see the trees? What are you doing, Booth? So anyway, just look at that. Ooh, ooh, I think we should go inside. So anyway, that's why we didn't do the live as intended. Serge.
Nice knowing you folks. Keep the dream alive.
See, this is what happens. We'd be sitting out here and then something's gonna fall on us instead of being inside. By the way, you guys, look out for a video on Sunday. It'll be a very interesting vlog. We go to an African store. I'm gonna give you a tour of this African store with all this African food, and then we're gonna go to this Heaven Sent Garden Center. As you can see, Kenton picked up a bunch more plants, and the mess you see is because we have squirrels, but more about that in the vlog coming soon. All right, you're on. So guys, this is the setup. Usually we're sitting at this large dining table, and usually I have my phone stand here, and then I usually put my iPhone right here on the stand, and then we film ourselves live. And then recently, you know, Kenton's also been using his laptop. So today we're taking this away because obviously I'm doing this with my vlogging camera. Oh, and the battery is doing its thing, so I need to change the battery and come back in a minute. So we're back in our dining room, like I said before, instead of Kenton's blue screen or green screen.
Yeah.
So, any introduction for anyone who happens to be on here who's never seen us before? My name is Habiba.
It's Kenton.
This is Kenton.
Yeah.
We've been married for how long?
30 years.
Have we been married 30 years?
Well,
no, we've known each other for
28.
almost 30.
No, we've known each other over 30 years.
Okay, but we haven't been married for 30 years.
No, we've been together for 30 years.
Right.
In a relationship for 30 years.
Right.
Actually 34. We've been married 29.
Wow.
So it's almost 30, yeah.
Anyway, we old.
Old enough.
Well, we're old enough.
Old enough to should know better.
But anyway, you know what's so funny is a lesson today is that even when you make plans, somehow the universe has a way of throwing a little wrench into it.
Well,
things never quite go as planned.
The wrench is a huge thunderstorm,
right?
And it's not your typical thunderstorm.
Yeah.
We get them, but this time it's like a real serious thunderstorm.
Right, you should see outside. Right. Normally it's quite bright or still a little bit more sun, but it's pretty dark and angry out there.
Angry, it's like almost pre-tornado.
Yeah,
right. So right now we have no internet. Good thing though is we still have power.
Right.
So that's good. Or this would shut off very quickly. It would be dark.
Right, and so again, that's why I couldn't do the live because the internet was going in and out. So,
yeah, but it's technically down right now.
Okay, so we're gonna try and do a really quick video, and you know, typically you guys are on here, you're throwing or asking us questions. Right. So I miss you. You're not on here to ask me anything.
Yeah.
Right.
So here we're just going to do kind of a rapid fire of questions.
Right.
And,
so on a previous video, EC400 said, Kenton, what is your favorite music? By the way, I got some fruit. Sorry. I got some fruit. I'm on this diet that's been kicking my butt. I'm trying to eat healthy, and everything has been messing with my stomach. Anyway, sorry, honey.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite music. Yeah, what is your favorite music?
It's non-fruit based, so you know.
What do you mean?
You're eating.
I want to eat. They don't mind.
Here, let me feed you. How if I feed you? Yeah.
No, not if you're gonna be obnoxious, boo. Not if you're gonna be obnoxious. Now, this is how you should feed me. You want me to feed you? Open your mouth. Kenton! That's what you get. Now, answer the question. It's cold. Of course it's cold. It was in the fridge.
So, anyways, no, I like all kinds of music. So, but so it just depends on my mood, you know. Summertime, I like soca. I'm listening to soca music, you know. So I like you know, different types of music, Afro-Caribbean music, you know, Latin beats.
Are you just saying that because you're married to a black woman?
No, I do. I listen.
Did you listen to soca music and Caribbean music before you married me?
Yeah, well, at Cornell, when you know, I was exposed to that actually.
You know, we keep it real and authentic here. You know, I'm gonna come for him if I think there's any.
I knew people before I got with you.
You knew people? Who'd you know?
Yeah, like you know, like my friend Juan from the Dominican Republic. Pedro is from Dominican Republic.
Yeah, you met them at the same time you met me. What you mean?
Yeah, but it was like 6 months prior. You know, or 3 months maybe, really. But still. You know, so like Kes, you know, that's a great band.
Who's Kes?
Kes, it's a soca music band. I think it's from Trinidad out there.
Anybody know Kes?
Yeah, so a band called Kes. So so I like them, and you know, so you know, global music, you know, so different artists, and then I like also, you know, traditional rock music. I like Peter Gabriel, you know.
Right, that's the kind of music I remember most from you.
Yeah.
When I met you, stuff like Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
And rock music.
Well, yeah, that's early on because, you know, again, but then it's developed, you know,
yeah,
and I like
reggae.
Well, I grew up with, you know, growing up in California and Southern California, so I exposed to a lot of rock, you know, traditional rock, but also classical music. I also.
What's your favorite classical music?
I'm a Beethoven.
Okay.
I'm not big Mozart, but I really like Beethoven. I like the romantics, musicians, composers.
And favorite song or favorite, song from Beethoven or Mozart?
Oh, you know, well, you know, like just typical stuff like the Moonlight Sonata, the Ninth Symphony, Beethoven's Fifth, you know, stuff like that. But then I also like some Wagner, Ode to Man. I mean, so it's just like various stuff like that. So I tend to like large pieces with large emotional swells and stuff like that.
Right. So, sort of dramatic.
A little dramatic, yeah, stuff.
Unfortunately, they haven't taken the time to say, well, you know, this composer, this is the name of the song. You know, I just know it when I hear it.
Yeah.
That this is something I really like.
Well, like one of the ones that you probably hear all the time, you know, like Debussy, Clair de Lune. They play that a lot in a lot of romantic movies or in like thoughtful movies. Like, for example, like 7 Years in Tibet with Clair de Lune was that little music box he gave to the young Dalai Lama.
Where did you learn to cook?
Is this to me or to you?
Yeah, no, she asked that question to you.
Why to me?
I don't know, she asked that question. You're just curious. Where did you learn to cook? I guess people are more curious about men that can cook per se than women who can cook. I don't know.
Well, my mother taught me how to cook. You know, she has a very wonderful palate. She's a gifted cook. So I learned from her, and then just, you know, playing around, practicing, and then just being curious. That's the other thing too, just being curious about different cultures and you know, experiencing different foods and then how they make it, you know, and stuff like that. But I guess some of the basics that I learned was from my mother, hanging around in the kitchen and stuff. You know, she always wanted a daughter, but she had 4 boys until
Eventually
my sister.
she had
eventually, but by then I was like in my
But she
20s.
had like literally 4 boys, right?
Yeah, 4 boys.
Before she had the girl. Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But yeah, so thank God, she taught me to cook. She didn't put me in a dress or anything. But I just hung around.
No. You were definitely a boy.
Yeah,
Boy growing up.
So.
Yeah. Okay, so this is completely different. This is like, you know, completely not, you know, not my, you know me. But anyway.
No, I don't.
I have a friend who seems to imply that most men cheat or most men have relationships outside of their marriage.
Most men?
That's the impression I get from him, that it's not, it's that it's expected, right? That it's expected and it's natural, or that it's so common that it's unnatural for a man really to be with one wife, that usually basically most men step out of their marriage.
Yeah. Well,
in a marriage where, for example, the men step out, but they don't necessarily tell their wives, or that their wives maybe assume they're stepping out, because again, most men step out or cheat. Would you say it's the norm that most married men over time cheat, and that you're an exception, or do you think it's the other way around?
I don't know. I don't speak to other men. I think really what it comes down to is if you think about it, it's saying, but men cheat with, we're assuming that it's a heterosexual, right? So
right.
But that means then that man is cheating with a woman,
right?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying is men are cheating, but then the women cheat too, but not as often as men.
I know, right? It takes two.
Right.
But I guess the focus is on the married man.
A married man?
Yeah, let's
so
focus
it's
on
basically
the
the
fact
married man
that
is stepping out.
The married man is stepping out.
Well, yeah. So
maybe he's been married for a while,
yeah.
and
well, again,
maybe goes on business trips,
again,
and every time he's away.
But it's a choice. It's a choice. It's like anything you do. Just like, because when you step out on the woman, you're stepping out on your kids, or you're stepping on your. I mean, the thing is that really what comes to is that. So if you want to rationalize, say, well, that's what men do. I guess that's what some men do. Because again, I say, to generalize that people cheat. Sure, there's temptation everywhere. I mean,
right.
There's somebody for everybody, right? It's just a question of standards.
Right.
I think sometimes that's what it is. I mean, really.
Well,
honestly,
do you never have the urge to cheat? Let's put it this way. Do you ever get bored with the idea of being with one woman? Do you ever feel like, dang, one woman for the rest of my life? Maybe it would be nice to be with someone else?
I mean, I guess when you look at, see, it's like the thing is that just you look at stuff or you look at other people and you be like, wow, that person's attractive, would be like to, be with that individual. But that's just a passing thought, just like anything, or you see an image and stuff like that. The issue is that how much of a value, it's like you can't, your eyes are your eyes, you're wired, especially, right. As they say with testosterone and stuff, and so there's going to be, summertime, you have some
scantily clad women.
You do,
scantily clad girls
in New York City. Oh my God, West Indian Day Parade.
Right.
Lord, even when with Calibri next to me.
Well, that was like years ago, but talking like more recently, does that thought ever cross your mind?
If I was at the West Indian Day Parade.
No, here in North Carolina.
No, I'm working from home. Yeah, when I see you, I'm going to cheat with you.
Exactly.
So the thing is that, again, the thing is it's really an evaluation. So if I look at another woman and then I'm saying I want to leave you for that person, that's a problem. Because
right.
because what it is that in my mind, I'm not. And then the thing is that why do I want to leave? And that's where it comes to a lot of issues. It was so funny talking about this, is that just the other day, I don't know why, our kids sometimes have some funny viewing habits, right? And like, I won't say who, but likes to watch Jerry Springer all of a sudden. I don't know why.
The same child that likes to watch Judge Judy, or the same child that likes to watch, Paternity Suits.
That's actually kind of entertaining.
Right.
The child got me watching it. Oops, I slipped. But so yeah, Paternity Court's crazy. But anyways, that's the whole thing. We could go on that for like. I have a hoop. Maybe we do a view over, and I can give you my thoughts on that. But
a reaction.
Yeah, reaction to it, or even just an analysis. Just like what, But anyways, so yeah, with Jerry Springer, and it was just a whole series of people cheating on each other.
Right.
And really, what it comes down to is that, and they always came up the same excuse, like, well, if you gave me what I needed, if you treated me, if you gave me attention, and really, it comes down to is that those may be legitimate issues, but in the end, you chose to do something that has repercussions to it.
Right.
If you're unhappy in a relationship, if you don't want to put in the effort for therapy, to work it out, to go to church,
what if, wait, okay, so there's the assumption that there's a problem in the relationship. What if there's no problem in the relationship? It's not because your wife is bad or your wife isn't doing what she needs to do. You just feel the urge to be with other women.
Okay, but see, this is the thing.
Because sometimes you just feel like, I want to tap that, therefore I should, and that person is,
so therefore then I should then come to my partner and be completely honest and say, like, hey, do you mind if I go and I tap that?
Right. And that's what I think. Like, this comes from, you know, a semi-real situation, but also I had posted on Instagram a reel showing, like, you know, I let my husband sleep with other women, i.e. you, but it was different variations of me in different hairstyles. Obviously, you get a different flavor depending on what I'm wearing, what I look like, right? But I kind of went in, you know, to say that basically I don't think queens, or I don't think a woman who regards herself highly would want to share her husband, at least not intentionally. Yeah, I think if you want to invite someone to your bedroom and you both have agreed on that, then, you know, that's your prerogative, you should. But if one spouse is deciding to bring somebody else or to sleep with somebody else on the side, then clearly that's cheating. And anyway, that was my post on Instagram. And so that had me thinking, you know, what if, I don't know what goes through your mind. Maybe sometimes you might.
What goes through my mind is like, Lord, let me make it through another day. I got school, I got work. And, you know, again, it goes to also to you know, what the good books say is, you know, idle hands is the playground, the devil's playground, you know?
Right, you must have too much free time.
I just don't have that freedom. You're raising a family, raising kids, you know, you have relationships.
Well, okay, now your kids are grown. You can do what you want to do.
I am busier than I ever been before. You got me doing this. Okay? Am I in the club? I'm here sitting with you. So it's like, no, man. And the thing too is like, 'cause sometimes it's like, you gotta be careful what you ask for.
Right.
You may sit there and ask your spouse, but you don't really know how each other feels, you know? It sounds good on paper.
Right.
You know, it's like one of those things like, you know, just because it may sound like a good idea, it doesn't mean you should do it.
Right.
Many relationships get destroyed.
Right.
In fact, there's a lot of these big TikTokers that have made themselves big because they have open relationships, open marriages. Right. And there's like one I heard about that she's leaving her house because her husband, they have an open marriage, and all of a sudden she found out that he's going out on the side, or she, you know, went out on the side and stuff and didn't tell him.
Right, once you open that door.
And the thing is that we are emotional creatures, you know. Sometimes, like, you know, like we've talked about before in other episodes about being intimate and stuff, and then so, you know, again, there's a difference between sex and then being intimate. But sometimes, you know, when you cross that boundary, that you might have to do it enough times with a single person, they start developing feelings. You may develop feelings, and next you know, you're introducing a whole different element. Right. You know, and no, it's just problematic. And then just again, talking from a legal perspective, when you're married, again, it's not only just a spiritual contract first and foremost, but it's a social contract. Right. And there's three parties in that contract. It's you, your partner, and the government. And that's what people don't understand. When you get married legally, you got three actors: you, your partner, and that government. And so the thing is, that government steps in because what it impacts is rights of ownership to property, rights of inheritance, and rights of custodial parentage of children. And the government steps in all three, plus taxes.
Then maybe that's why you see a lot of people when they are financially successful, or like the celebrities. Yeah, I was saying that maybe that's why you see certain celebrities or people with a lot of, you know, wealth, that even once it's clear that their marriage is not working, or they're not, you know, they're not romantically together, they don't bother getting divorced. Because they don't want to go through the whole
sometimes it's financial. Sometimes it's a business decision, and it's not just for celebrities. It's people, high value, a lot of assets. You know, it would just be very messy, and so then then becomes more of a business arrangement. You know, versus or they also have like a lot of especially if they're also not just married, but they're also business partners, or even manager talent, so like you're the talent, I'm the manager, and so so we're so intertwined like this that if we have to separate, we couldn't do it, so we would just have to then make days that
why are you doing all that?
Anyway, so so that's what I'm saying. It's complex, so it's all different things. The bottom line is that, again, if one of the partners has to hide or lie,
right,
then it's a problem. If it's an open understanding, there's an agreement and stuff, and hey, teach their own. You're inviting trouble, honestly, in many different fronts. So comment below your thoughts about this issue. Is it cheating if your spouse tells you they would like to step out? Well, yeah, it's cheating because
what if
you don't agree?
What if you agree, or what if you do this nonchalant? Well, you're gonna do what you're gonna do anyway, or you know how sometimes.
Well, if you give permission and your spouse is cheating, you're accepting.
Right.
But then what I'm saying is that you got to also accept the potential consequences, because you're saying, well, if he or she does what they want to do, as long as they come home to me. But that's the thing. They may come to home you physically. That doesn't mean they're home emotionally. And then eventually they're not going to be home mentally.
Right.
You know?
So I guess, Kenton, if I have somebody that I want to step out with, will it be okay with you? What's your criteria for it being okay with you?
There's no okay. What's going to happen is that I say, you want to step out? You're going to step out. You're not stepping back. So you go out, you keep going out. You just walk out, and then you're going to get served some papers, and then... The lies.
I think I could bring somebody in right now.
Go ahead. You bring them in, and that doesn't mean they're going out. So come on in, and they'll be like, no, that's cool. I don't want to come. Yeah, come on in. I'm just sharpening up some knives. Everything's cool.
You're sharpening up some knives.
Yeah, I don't see
it. I'm just joking.
Hard to cheat if you don't have some ways.
Exactly. Hard to cheat if I'm with you all the time, right?
No, people cheat in different ways. Who knows?
There is fantasy and there's reality. And I think sometimes it's one thing to fantasize about cheating or being with other people, but the reality is it's never as good as you thought, and it's so not worth it. And if you really respect your spouse and your relationship together, chances are you won't want to really do that.
You don't want to really do that.
No. And then I think the other thing too is people really get confused with love versus lust and how much they're willing to go in for it. People will be totally enamored with someone and not, just recognizing that might just be lust, and it's totally temporary, and it's totally superficial.
I mean, people have physical attractions all the time. I mean, again, if you go someplace and you see, someone that's
you go to a strip club.
Well,
you go to a strip club. Do you want to take that home all the time?
You sit there, you're like, but yeah, exactly. It's in the end, it's like what you build a relationship, a foundation with, and stuff. I mean. And let's be honest. I mean, it's not a good look when you're an older guy and you're constantly chasing tail. I mean, there's a certain point where then it just becomes damn creepy. It's like, dude, settle down, man. It's like, be responsible.
You think? I don't know. I feel like society makes it okay for men to continue to, chase after women or chase after skirts or whatever, regardless of their age.
And we see the repercussions of that. You got single parents all over the place, children without fathers. And
no. You said older men. I'm not talking about the young men.
No, older men too.
I'm talking about the older men.
Older men too that live with regret.
Or men your age.
Well, they live with regret, that say like, I could have been a better father. I should have been there. Or in estranged relationships. That's the thing too. A lot of times, let's be honest, many times men that run around and chase is because, in a sense, they can't have, they're finding a challenge, not that they can't have, but they're having a challenge to have intimacy. So to them, having sexual release is at least better than no intimacy. So they're just getting it, but they're scared either because they've been damaged as children because they didn't have good foundation either a father figure or even just how to be really a good partner,
Mm-hmm.
or it's because of childhood trauma, they can't develop bonds of intimacy. So for them, it's always hit it and quit it, hit it and quit it. Because then once it starts getting more serious, they leave. Then they move on to the next thing. I mean, there's a lot of different dynamics. That's a potential too.
Right.
But the thing is that, yeah, guys like my age, but at a certain point, it's sort of just like, you know, you can't be constantly chasing, you know, because then you're not building. Because in the end, you're going to get older, and you're going to be alone.
Right.
I mean,
possibly,
but the odds are higher. The odds are getting higher and higher.
No, but then there's some women who tolerate that.
Sure,
I've seen a ton of women who tolerate their men cheating all the time, and they just take it.
But that's a whole different conversation.
Right.
And then we're going to be looking at why.
Right.
And main time.
Okay. So I think I'm about to run out of film, and we said we're not going to be here too long.
All right.
Definitely leave your comments, leave your questions, leave your thoughts. Disagree with us, feel free to disagree. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah. And again, sorry folks for being so short, but again, we're in the middle of a storm and so forth. So.
Right. So we will see you. I guess I'm going to post this on Saturday. You'll probably be watching this on Saturday. And again, look out for a vlog on Sunday. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to hit that like button. We appreciate it.